I know a lot of Bulls fans like myself were very happy and probably yet relieved after Friday night's game against the Orlando Magic, worrying, is this team going to respond in the way that they need to? And they certainly did. They blew out the Magic, even got their starters some rest in the fourth quarter. Like the perfect result of what you're looking for a team that had a 2-game losing streak, especially knowing that that was the first game of a back-to-back and that you were coming back to the United Center on Saturday night to take on a playoff team, a potential contender in the Eastern Conference in the Miami Heat. Even though the Heat were going to be without Tyler Hero, you've got Jimmy Butler coming back to where his NBA career started. You know the Heat play a style of ball that can translate very well to the playoffs, and this is a bit of a measuring stick game for the Bulls. So this was a big one on Saturday night. And what I can't understand for the life of me is how, after the end of 3 quarters, the Bulls were up 74-72. It really, in a lot of ways, just doesn't make any damn sense. And here's why. Vucevic was playing like complete ass cheeks. LaVine seemed half interested and was barely a presence, and he was playing like ass too. 2 of your big 3, so to speak, were a combined 5 of 18 from the field in the first 3 quarters. How the hell were the Bulls able to even be in this game, let alone have a 2-point lead after 3? And then you've got dumb Dick Donovan continuing to give way too many damn minutes to Kobe White. Oh, Kobe White had a good game, and then how many bad ones do you have to follow it up with, you idiots? After 3 quarters, he had as many turnovers as he had damn points. Unbelievable. The Bulls were shooting like shit, turning the ball over all over the damn place. But thankfully, Caruso stepped up and he had a great night. DeMar DeRozan had 14 points in the third quarter. And all of a sudden, somehow, some way, the Bulls were up 74-72. In spite of the fact they had no business being in that spot. Several key contributors playing like complete and total dog shit. And don't put a positive spin on it. Don't make it nicey nice. Vucevic has to play better. You are almost a quarter of the way through the season now. At some point in time, the excuses and the justifications and the rationales go the fuck away. You pay him a lot of money. He needs to play better. If somebody told you, and you only knew based off of this season alone that Vucevic was an all-star caliber player, you'd look at him and say, what the fuck are you talking about? And as far as Zach LaVine goes, now you want to get that max contract. You want to be treated like a big-time, major all-star player. Play like it in these big games. It's one thing to go put up points against a scrub-ass team like the Orlando Magic, but when your team needs you here to be a presence, be a presence. Not a scatterbrain that's half interested. And yet somehow, in spite of all that, the Bulls are up by 2 after 3. What else really stunned me was how Billy Donovan was unable or unwilling, I don't know what the hell it was, to adjust to what the Miami Heat did in the fourth quarter. The Miami Heat went to the zone. And there was this gaping void consistently in the middle of the paint. Get a big man there. Run your offense through there. And instead it's 5 guys on the fucking perimeter, which is exactly not the way you want to damn attack a zone. Now you just got to try and shoot over the top of it and hope your shots are falling. Oh, and by the way, the shots weren't falling last night. So why the hell would you continue with that approach? That switch to zone was critical for Miami. It sparked a big run. The Bulls just weren't offensively there, didn't attack the zone very well whatsoever. And it was a big, big reason why this Miami Heat team ultimately got a critical road victory and beat the Bulls 107-104. I mean, of all people, you had Gabe Vincent leading the Miami Heat with 20 points. Lowry at 19, Butler at 18, Duncan Robinson at 16. DeMar DeRozan did his part. You know, clearly right now the best player on the Bulls and a legit MVP candidate. 28 points. Caruso had 22. Like, those guys came to play. But LaVine had a whopping 16 points on 6 of 16 shooting. Whoopee! Vucevic with a whole damn 7 points. Kobe White ended up with more turnovers. than he had points. 5 turnovers, 4 points. Guess you weren't playing the Orlando Magic, huh? And what was really bad about this was they failed to adjust to the zone that the Heat ran in the fourth quarter. They jacked up threes all day long, and they just weren't falling. And sometimes it's going to happen. You got to figure out other ways to manufacture offense. The Bulls were 11 of 39 from 3. And they were really sloppy in this game, too. 22 turnovers. Now, you don't deserve to win games against good teams when you play like this. And make no mistake about it. While the Bulls competed and fought hard and stayed in it, they were not at their best, and they absolutely did not deserve to win this game. And why did they lose this game? Well, number one, why in the hell does Billy Donovan insist on giving more than twice as many minutes to fucking Kobe White as he does Ayo Dosunmu? This makes no goddamn sense. If Kobe White's not scoring, he provides nothing. Nothing. Well, he's improved a little bit defensively. So he went from complete trash to just being somewhat trash. He's still really bad. He doesn't facilitate. He doesn't create for others. The hell you're putting him in the game for? Ayo brings way more across the board. Way more. I mean, that is gross imbecility of the highest order to look, especially at the way that the game played out last night. And sometimes you go one game to the next. And you have to adjust your rotations accordingly. And this stubborn insistence on playing Kobe White 20 minutes when he didn't deserve 20 minutes. You know, he certainly was helping in terms of the turnovers. He shot like shit. Like, he was Kobe being Kobe as far as I'm concerned. But I don't blame Kobe in this space. I blame Billy Donovan because what the fuck are you doing? That's stupid. In part, you lost this game because of your dumbass decision to play Kobe White twice as many minutes as Ayo. That's inexcusable and has to stop. If Kobe's having a good game, roll with it, so be it. But when he's having a game like he did last night, no, you can't afford the time to sit there and hope he works out of it and hope he figures it out. You don't need to. Stop that shit. Number 2, LaVine. Watching the game last night, you clearly see who the alpha is and is going to be the alpha come playoff time. And it sure as fuck isn't Zach LaVine and his non-clutch having ass. If you think Zach LaVine is the best player on this Bulls team, you're fucking insane! He's certainly not the most important one, because that's going to be damn DeRozan, because he's going to have to be the guy in the playoffs, you would think, with his mid-range game, with his ability to get to the hoop. He's more consistent, just so many other things. DeRozan's been a godsend. LaVine, on the other hand, you want to be a big-time dude. You want to be a max-level player. Well, this was a max-level game, and you didn't fucking show up. Stop making excuses for a guy like LaVine. He was ass cheeks in this game. And then it's number 3, Nikola Vucevic. I referenced it in Friday's game. That if you looked at this in its own isolated bubble, you would say the Bulls got fucking ripped off giving up Wendell Carter Jr. and Franz Wagner and a future first-round pick to bring in Vucevic. He's been shit this year. Combing my ass, anything like that. There's always a goddamn excuse, isn't there? Well, he brings other things to... What exactly did he bring to the table Saturday night? The Chicago PD should have put out an APB looking for his ass. Same thing with LaVine. He had 7 fucking points. Other things, my ass. You didn't trade what you traded to go get a Vucevic for him to be a 10-rebound, 7-point-a-game guy. He has to figure it out. He's supposed to be an all-star. It's time he played like one. I mean, here was a perfect opportunity against the Heat. You saw it numerous times. He was panicking. Then it was even worse when the Bulls didn't take advantage of the matchups where he would have a Duncan Robinson or a Lowry or somebody switched on him in the post. They didn't fucking go to it. And when they did, Vucevic looked like he was freaking lost. So it's not a very good omen when 2 of your top players play like absolute duty. You got a coach stubbornly playing an inferior guard for twice as many minutes as the superior guard for reasons that are still unbeknownst to me. No wonder this team fucking lost. This Bulls team is a playoff team right now, yes, but you even have to wonder at some point in time, looking at DeRozan's past few years, are you due for just a tad bit of a regression back to the mean, closer to what he did in San Antonio? Maybe you're not. Could be. But this is the best he's done statistically in probably 5 years now. Is that sustainable over a course of an entire year? I don't know. We're going to find out. But fucking A, right now, this Bulls team looks like shit. You got your big star players not playing like big star players. You got a coach that's making dumbass lineup decisions. This team's inability to understand how to attack a basic fucking zone. Like, yeah, they make the playoffs, and then what? This team needs a bit of a roster shuffle. It does. It needs a lineup shuffle. It needs many things. What it doesn't need is for Vucevic and LaVine to play like ass and Kobe White to be on the floor so goddamn much on a night where it's clear he doesn't have it. Best thing about this Bulls game on Saturday night means it was the second half of a back-to-back. It means we don't have to watch them play again Sunday night. Because that game was winnable. Somehow, someway, in sloppy play, horrible shooting, all of that, the Bulls were up 2 at the end of 3. And they still found a way to lose.